The Tao of Self-Confidence, episode 838. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. Visit our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits. Well, hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan, and today I have a phenomenal woman on the show today. She is the CEO of TSC Worldwide Press and the founder of United Yearbook, and I'm really excited to have her on and share her story with us today on self-confidence. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Sarah Say. Sarah, how are you today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
I'm doing good. As you said, I'm the CEO of TSE Worldwide Press in California, and I'm the founder of United Yearbook. And I'm also the author of two books. One is 7 Years on the Front Line. Another new book I just got released is called From Illusion to Reality, which is a career guidebook for young professionals.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And Sarah, what's your cultural background?
I was born and raised in Hong Kong and came to United States when I was 18 for college. So it's been a few decades since I've been here, and I became a citizen in 2009. Yeah, so it's been quite a journey. And I started my first company in around 2000.
Thanks for sharing that. And Sarah, what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Sky is the limit. Don't give up, persevere. Sky is the limit. I like to remind myself of this quote, and I also remind my mentees, the mentees that I mentor, with this quote. I think perseverance is very important. When you are able to persevere through the journey of meeting your goal, you can pretty much accomplish anything. So, and therefore I always use the sky as the limit.
I love that. And it's so true, especially coming from an Asian background, right? We're always told we have so many limits, but really there are no limits. We can go out there and do our thing. And yeah, sometimes our journey will suck. We'll have our setbacks, our roadblocks and challenges. But like you mentioned, through perseverance, that's where we can keep moving forward, reach our goals, have that so-called overnight success because we've been persevering for years. So I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how do you define self-confidence?
I think self-confident is you're just comfortable with your own skin. Like I am a woman, I'm an Asian, I have small eyes, So I think, like a lot of people, their confidence comes from what they see out in the world instead of who they are, who they were born with. For me, I'm just 100% confident and satisfied with who I am, even though I was born, in my first book, I share about, I was born with some disability, but I overcame that and I persevered through that. So I think self-confidence just comes from the within. It's not limited by circumstances or your situations.
I love that. And it's so true, especially in this world of social media. We see so many photos out there, filtered photos, trying to look perfect, trying to have the pearly white skin. And especially, coming from a background where there's so many standards we have to live up to and have that perfect persona. It really does kind of drain us, right? And feel like we're never enough. So if we just show up as our true authentic selves, love ourselves from within, we can really build that confidence along the way. So I love that definition that you mentioned. And Sarah, what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
I was very withdrawn. I didn't have confidence. I was easily influenced by what other people said about me or said to me. So I think, it was really through, coming here. I went to a very good Christian college in California, Biola University, and that's where I really reinvent myself. Because when I came to this country as 18 years old, I was trying to find my own identity, but I'm able to find my identity in my Christian faith. So I'm so glad, I was able to discover that, like when I was 18 in December, I remember I went to a winter conference, and that's how I really truly find my true identity, who I am. As a Christian, as a woman, as a minority.
Thanks for sharing that. I'm glad you were able to find your own identity, because it's not always easy, right, to go out there and find who we truly are. We usually have so many definitions under us, so many things that we're supposed to be, that it really, hurts us in the end. We feel like we have to keep on striving for the best. We have to keep moving up, keep going. And that can take a huge toll, not only on ourselves, but our mental well-being as well. So, what was that point in your life, especially starting your own business, right? As an Asian woman, it's not typical. I'm pretty sure your family was like, what are you doing? Why aren't you getting a job like a normal person? What was that aha moment that made you take that leap of faith to go out there and do your own thing?
I would say before I started my first partnership in 2000, I was working as a graphic designer, and all of a sudden 3 months in a new job, and I was given an opportunity to be a sales representative for the company. And because, the sales rep, at the company, he left the company abruptly. So they needed someone to fill in the spot. So I was given the opportunity, potential I could make a lot of money, but it wasn't the case. 3 months, I didn't have any sales, but I persevered. So I taught myself how to sell. So by the third month, money just started rolling in. So that was my aha moment that I was really good with selling. So the rest is is history. Like within a very short time, I made a lot of money as a 20 some years old. So I was able to afford buy my first home very early on because of the success I received from being from selling.
I love that. I love that you mentioned, you were able to learn the skill of selling, because that's what it is, to make money. That's the most important part when it comes to making money and having your own business is sales, getting clients to put out their credit card and pay for your product and services. And especially coming as an Asian woman, it's not easy to go out there and sell our products and services, right? We have so many self-doubt, negative thoughts about ourselves, especially like the cultural background we face and the gender bias, especially, saying it's not polite for women to go out there and sell their services. But if you're not out there selling, you're not going to make money, right? And even though the first 3 months you didn't sell a thing, you were out there learning that skill, learning it. You didn't stop at 3 months. You said, you're going to keep going, because one day you're going to make your first sale. You're going to make your first dollar, your first $10, your first $100, your first 5-figure month, right? That wouldn't have happened if you didn't just keep on going. And I really love that you mentioned that, because I think, especially now, 2022, we need to just go out there and do it, right? Learn how to sell, be courageous, make that first move, go out there and ask somebody if they need your products or services, right? Be brave enough to ask for the credit card, because you're going to make a positive impact in their lives. So I really love that you mentioned that. And because of your aha moments, what's your life been like now?
From that aha moment, I discovered I'm really good with selling and negotiation and also problem solving. So when the opportunity came for me to start my first partnership, so I just jumped into it. And sure enough, the first year, the company, already became very profitable. So a couple years after that, my late father and I, we started our own company, TSC Worldwide Press, in 2004. Yeah, we did go through, 7 years of business adversity trial, but we came out stronger. Now the company is in a whole different position. We have a much stronger, better foundation. We have a lot more clarity what kind of client that we want to work with. It's a more healthy business model that I'm operating in right now.
I love it. And congrats to all your success. I think it's great. And I love that you mentioned, 7 years of business adversity led me to this, right? There was no overnight success. You had to persevere your way through your business to get to where you are today. And I think there's this huge misconception about overnight success, right? People think like, oh, you decide to make a business and the next day you made $1 million. Actually, there was a journey to get to that, right? There was a huge learning curve. There was a lot of setbacks. There was a lot of challenges we had to go through, especially during the pandemic, right? I mean, that wasn't always as easy. We had to learn how to pivot not once, twice, but maybe 100 times to make it right. So, I love that you mentioned that. I love that, you just show up sharing your authentic self, your authentic story, and the things you had to go through to get to where you are today. And I just wish we had more stories like this so that people can, realize like this is what it takes, right? It's not a walk in the park, but it's really worth it at the end. And, to the woman who's listening to your episode, she may be in her own journey to self-confidence. What would be that one tip you would give to her?
Everyone have our own life obstacles or experience that can, remind us of our past. It's very important to deal with your hurt or past experience or someone who inflated, or did something wrong to you. It's very important to forgive. Forgive the persons, forgive yourself, and, go through therapy or, some healing process, and then just keep moving forward without looking back to your past. And I found that, not only women, but men and women, I mentor a lot of young professionals. They tend to be held back by their past. So one of my success, that I found that is to help them to overcome the past and be able to assist them through the process of moving forward, and also being able to see them to prosper, progress independently. It is really my greatest joy, seeing that, the mentee that I work with come from where they were to where they are now, and be able to accomplish a lot of things in their life because they're able to leave behind the past and keep moving forward.
I love that advice. I love how you mentioned keep moving forward. Yes, keep moving forward, but let go of the past, right? Just the past is the past. It already happened. We can always change our present moment and future at any given moment. And when we learn to let go of that, we have less resistance to go out there and start a new venture or go after something we dream of, right? So I really love that you mentioned that you mentor so many people to learn to let go and just move forward and see what they can accomplish when they do that. And, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and what you do, or would like to check out some of your books, is there any links or social media profiles we can connect with?
They can visit my website, Sarah, Y as Yvonne, and TSE.com. And also my Instagram handle is Sarah Y TSE.
Thanks for sharing that. And to our listeners, if you want to connect with Sarah, you can also head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Sarah's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else that we talked about. And I really just want to thank Sarah today for taking the time to share her story and journey with us on self-confidence. So thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity.
Not a problem. It's really an honor to have you on the show today. And to our listeners, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to another amazing episode of The Tao of Self-Confidence. Get your free audiobook by visiting our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits.